Welcome to my nightmare. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna feel you belong. Welcome to my breakdown. Hey guys, my name's Elijah. Well, what's going on? You guys all know me. I got the truck running. I got it running very nicely, actually. But I have a little issue with it. Now, if you'll notice, I'm going to turn on this light here right quick, and I'll show you what I'm looking at here. Up underneath, we have what are known as turbo mufflers. Where are the mufflers? They're down there. Those are turbo mufflers. And what they have inside of them is physically a valve which opens and closes, and it basically more or less will make the engine quiet when there's not enough gas passing through the my truck passes gas when there's not enough exhaust vapor going through the pipe to actually move that valve physically. And so what ends up happening is it makes it quieter. Okay, now since I went ahead and tuned this thing up and adjusted it, I noticed that at idle, like at stop signs and at just sitting idle in drive, the RPM is probably around 650, 700, somewhere right in there. And in park, it's probably around 700 or so. And as a result, I can no longer hear my engine idle ever since I tuned it up and I got the shake out of it, because it was shaking because it had a fuel-air ratio problem and it had a little timing issue. So, more or less, I'm looking for a solution to it, to the problem, and I'm kind of, I don't know, it's not so much a big problem as far as, it's not a performance problem, it's just I'm not liking what happened since I fixed this kind of problem. So, this is a 1977 Ford Ranchero GT. A little bit of a few modifications, just a few. I've got a new shifter on the floor, and a lot of junk everywhere still that I need to clean up. Now, this is another thing that I did to kind of clear up the vapor lock issue. I don't know if you can see it here, a little bit of rust. From right there, there is a, this right here, is a inline electronic fuel pump. And what that's doing is it's taking fuel directly from my fuel cell back here. Oh, you can't see it. Directly from my fuel cell back there in the back, and it is pumping it in liquid form all the way up to the engine. So, let's see if I can get this to start, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Yeah, that bump you heard there, that when I started it, that's actually my flywheel. I'm going to have to replace my flywheel. So I got the door open here. Okay, so this is in park, and I can hear it okay. It's cold, so it is shaking a little bit, you can tell. But listen to what happens when I drop it into drive. Okay, that's reverse. And then with the radio on or whatever, I can't hear it. I can't hear anything. So I got 5 pounds fuel pressure, It's cold. It's probably around 150 degrees or so. It's charging. It's got 14 volts. That fuel pump must use a lot of amps, because you can see the meter is kind of bouncing around. It never did that before. Oil pressure 5 psi, 25 psi, and my idle is actually right around, it's about 600. I'd say 600. Yeah. Drop it back into park. I just recently installed this. This used to be the converter box for the old camper. I didn't want to cut a hole in my floorboard here, so I put it on top of this box rather than doing that. That way I can shift gears. I pulled the one from the column and I unlocked it, and so now I just shift with this. But yeah, hearing some noise in there. Pretty much what I had to do. Yeah, see, she's still not running perfect. I'm missing a lug. I got a little bit of work to do. But yeah, all this is from changing out fuel lines. This is gasoline, which dried up on my driveway, and yeah, it's an intact car. And I don't know, well, you can't smell it, obviously, it's a video, but my exhaust smells like it's a lot cleaner and a lot less raw gasoline, basically, because I've tuned it up, and I actually learned how to tune a Holler 2-barrel H2 2300 carburetor for fuel and air. Basically, you tighten them all the way tight, and then you open them up, turn it, loosen it 1.5 turns on each side, tighten all the fuel air mixtures all the way tight, and then loosen them 1.5 turns. And then what you do is you, oh, and I'll show you here right quick. Yeah, I'm gonna pause this. Okay. Why won't you let me pause? Okay, so I'm going to pause this right quick. Okay, so I've got this pretty much tuned up. Got my regulators set for 5.5 psi. 5.5 psi. We got clean fuel, and no more vapor lock being issued because of that fuel pump. Set my timing right here. Vacuum modulator. Underneath here is the old H2 2300 Holler carburetor 2-barrel, 350 CFM. You know, hooked up except for the choke. I don't have the choke hooked up, but I don't use the choke. Not in the summer. Yeah, super stock, XL super stock photo. But yeah, these are the screws I was telling you about right here. That's your air fuel mixture. And those are the ones that I was telling you, you tighten them all the way up, and then you loosen them 1.5 turns. And then what you do to one side, you do to the other side, and you turn them, you either tighten them or loosen them. You do the exact same thing on each side until the engine runs right. And then you can basically adjust it until it runs smooth. Now, I figured out what the problem was with this truck, and that is this PCV valve right here. This PCV valve, you notice how it's sticking? Well, I sprayed it out with some carb cleaner, getting ready to get a new PCV valve. You notice the idle goes down? Well, it was sticking open. It was a huge vacuum leak because it was sticking open. So, we fixed that, and she started running right. So if it starts doing that again, then we know that it's this PCV valve that's messing up. That's the 351 Windsor 5.8 liter with the Holler 2-barrel H2 2300, and up underneath it, it's got the 3-speed FMX transmission, or also known as Ford Matic transmission. You guys have a good day, and we will talk to you guys a little bit later. Peace.